Hello again. Um, I will continue with the WERRA 1 and then show how to assemble the rest of the shutter and put it back into the camera. So yeah, let's go ahead. So I mean, the shutter blade looks very much better than it was. So I will put it back in the spring and the rest of the parts and lube it a little. So this goes like here. There. And it needs a tiny drop of oil here, in my opinion. It's a very, very thin sewing machine oil. That's more than enough. And then give it some movement so the oil can find into the correct place. Now the mainspring, which is a bit weak, but let's see if it can be get to work again, but still, it's an old camera. I mean, what can you expect? So, and then the spring has to sit over here. There the spring should sit when it's correct. So there is a lot of tension here. In this spring there's not really much, but it's yeah, it's better than nothing. So hopefully it can get back to life. So yeah, and then put in the other parts, which will be the self timer. Can begin with that. And it should stay somewhere over here. Or maybe I should do it in the other yeah, I think I will do it in a different way. I will put in this ring here, so I can assemble it from the back of the shutter. So this pin goes here. Yeah. It should be something like that. There's a tiny hair spring. This spring here. Hopefully you can see it. It can be a little difficult to see on camera. But there is one tiny spring here, very thin, and it should have this pin on this side, as I see it. So there should be something like that, and the other pin over here goes in where the shutter contact is. So it should be something like there. Yeah, it's correct. see when I move the ring, this little part here will move also. So when I move it, it will draw it. And I think it must be the way it should work. So, and then the ring here with the 3 screws come into place. This is just a plate. I mean, nothing special about that. Has to go on there. And my small screwdriver, or maybe the other one, can do it. No, not this. There's one here. I think it's interesting to work with those old shutters. It's kind of a clockwork or watch. So I will dig much deeper into those shutters to learn them better, how they should act when they do not work proper. So I think there will be more films about that. And it's also depending on what shutter it is. Is it Pronto, Synchro Compur, Compound, Presto, or whatever. So I think it must be something like that, because it's a self timer. When it comes in here, I can just put it in back into the shutter again. It can only sit one way. So there should be any problem with that. This little arm has to come over here, and the screw head, there is a tiny screw head here. There, you see this one, it has to rest in this hole here. Oh, difficult to see. So the screw head will go into here when it's it can only sit in one way, so there shouldn't be any problem with that. Just put in the screw, which is the long and thin. Something like there. Yeah. Gently tighten it. So you see, if I can cock the self timer here, it works as it should. Now the other parts will also come in here, and especially the shutter button and the no, I think I will put in the slow gear first, because then the other parts come in. Sits there, and remember this part here has to go on the other side. Oh, sorry. This pin here have to go on the inside of the of this part here. It will not work, it's on the outside, so it has to stay like there. See? and the tiny adjusting screw, which sometimes can be a little annoying to get in place and tighten, but managed to do it. And then the longer screw and do some, you should press a little on this one, on this lever, to get the parts here into place, and then tighten it. And the distance between the the edge here and the slow gear, or the escapement, has to you need to adjust it maybe a little, so do not tighten this too much. And then I can see the distance is a bit too small, so it will be something like there. Yeah, I think it will work okay. So now the shutter is almost done. Almost. Yeah. But this part here also have to, this hairspring has to stay like this and not on the other side. It should stay as it is here. Now the cocking gear ring is put in place here, and the pin, hopefully we can see it, maybe if I zoom in a little more, it will, I hope it will help more. So the end of the spring has to go on this pin here, something like there. Something like this. And if you draw it, then it will not fall off the pin. So and then the challenge is to put the ring on the self timer here. This pin here has to stay like this, as you can see, and let it go there. No, not really. Something is not correct. Okay, yeah, it is actually. So, and then the this part goes in to on the pin here, something like that. And one have to be aware of maybe I should do something. I will use the retaining ring to have the cocking gear in correct place. It will just be so much easier. So now I know where it is. So we can put this part in here, and this tiny hairspring has to stay on the, okay, can be a little tree, but something there, and then maybe I should use the other tweezer. It's good to have one more than, I mean, 2, 3, 4 different tweezers, different size and style. So do you mind? Then there, and press it gently down. And this one has to also set in place. So now it is correct. So it sits there. Now the shutter button itself has to go in here, and there is a spring that has to go on the inside of the shutter housing. Which is the one here. It has to go against the side here. So let's put it in here. And then if one can manage to I think just lift it up a little, like there. Okay, well, it's just a spring. Yeah, there it is. So it sits correct here, almost correct, as I can see. Yeah. So, no, not quite right. It looks like we are there. Now the part of the cocking gear comes in here. And this pin, the pin here, has to stay on this side. If we can get it to place like this. And maybe I should take off the retaining ring, because then it's impossible to get the gear on. So need to take it out again and unscrew it, something like there, and then put this in. So it looks like something like this. And the self-timer thing here is also to set correct. Now then it should be possible to put on this, the timer ring, and hopefully it will work. Wow. And I can just put this on, so I have a better view of how things look. And I can see what's happened. So if I cock the shutter, hopefully it will work. Yeah. It stays on B. Let's see if another exposure time could be any difference. Oh, it was too tight. Let's say 500, just to have a yeah. The blades are much better, but the I mean, the shutter is a bit worn out, and because of the spring that maybe needs some to be renewed. I simply don't know, but there's another issue. If I can take this out again, let's see how things look here. It looks correct, in my opinion. Yeah. It looks like the shutter is cocking itself. The spring that closes the shutter again is actually a bit weak. There's not really much tension on it. It should be more, what do you say, more power in it. So this one is also okay. And this one should also stay there. It's good I have a monitor connected to my camera, because then I can actually see if I'm out of frame. Yeah, there's something about this part here which is not good enough. So let's see if I can take it off again. Yeah. Yeah, it has to go there. See? So there must be a better way to put it in here, like this, and get the spring by pushing it here and down. Then I think it would be easier to move it a little. Oh yeah, I see the point here. Well, sometimes it's not easy. And yeah, there. This was going in there. And if I use my dentist tool, which is really handy, I think I can press it down here and then move it. There. And then have to lift the spring into correct place again. It's not really easy. Okay, let's see. I think this spring has to be the last part that comes in. I mean the end of the spring. So if I set it there, like this, put this on, and put it into place. And then add the spring after that with my dentist tool. I think it would be a little easier. It has been there and it will be there again. Yeah. Here we are. Yes, so it is. And then it should work better. I mean, as it should. Take out the gear here again, because there's something that is not so. And then add this ring again. Into place where it should stay. Yeah. So there. And add the gear here, something like that. The self timer pin here, and then now I see the point. I missed something. Yeah, that I have not seen correct. The little spring here is not in correct place. So let's see how it can be there. There is something that is not working proper. So let's see here if I cook the shutter here. There's something about this spring. Oh yeah, I see the point. There's something there. So it should be something like that. And I would guess I mean, there's always something new to learn when this one does not have to be so loose. Yeah, I see. Now it should stay there. And if I cut the shutter like I do now, and if I press the button, it should go back to correct place. Wow, see? So there's the tiny spring here, hairspring, fooled me. So let's see if I put the plate on here, how it will work. Let's see if I cut the shutter, and then, wow. It's there. How about the slow gear, the escapement? Well, it's a bit slow, in my opinion. So 1 second is, maybe the slow gear actually needs some treatment. Yeah, it looks like it needs some cleaning, but I figured out. Haha, that's really good. So the slow gear needs to be treated because of old. So I need to take this out and the cooking gear here, but I do not need to take off everything. I'll just see if I can put it here, somewhere here, yeah, and let it rest there. And just do the unscrewing. Just loosen it a little, and then loosen the short screw, take it out, and the other end, the long screw, and actually take out the escapement, as you can see here. So let's see how it, it's simply too sticky. I mean, this part is here. It's not really good. one can see there too much dirt on the gear wheel, something there. Yeah, so it needs a little treatment with some one can use lighter fluid or other solutions like the isopropyl alcohol. Which is something, it doesn't need that much, but just a small bath, and put it into the shower here. And give it a little bath. So this is isopropyl alcohol 99%, which is almost pure. I mean, I don't drink it, but it's a very good solution, solvent for cleaning those gears, and it doesn't stink that much. Yeah, it really helps a lot. See, much better movement. It doesn't really work before, and I can see the gear wheel simply just needs some. So I will let it stay there for a while and come back sooner. So it will be continued. Now I I let the slow gear stay in this isopropyl alcohol 99% overnight, and let's see how it actually turns out. Oh, there's a good movement in it, so it helps. Just need to blow the rest of the dirt away. Oh, the gear teeth wheel really looks a lot better. So it's ready to put into the camera, I mean in the shutter. So better take just a little napkin and try it a little. And do this blower. To take the rest of the alcohol away. So I think it will work really good. Now, and then it needs some blue oil, very thin oil. So I will just add tiny drop on each axle end, and that's it. It's all I need. So, and give it some movement. let the oil get into the axle end. And just wipe the rest of, and then the other side. So, and then it should be fine. Wow, it's really much better than it was. I mean, before it was really sticky and no energy and it couldn't move at all. So yeah, I think it will be okay. Now, so let's put this shutter in. Let's see how it actually works. I mean, press there. It's alive. It's alive. That's good. So let's put it in. And I think the little short screw, I'll just add it here. So, and then put it in the shutter here. And one should remember that this part here should go on the other side. If not, it will simply not work. Oh gosh. So, okay, it can be a little tricky. So there, and here we go. Then tighten the little screw. I mean, not really tighten, but then I know where it is. And the other. So, and remember, this has to go there before you tighten it. Can this move? Yes. So it's good. So the distance has to be set like something there. I mean, I would guess. Just tighten the screw a little, and then so, and just move this a little. So. And then tighten the other end. So now then we can put the ring back in again, like something there. So, and of the self timer pin here has to sit like this. And then the gear, which also have to sit correct. If not, it doesn't work. Yeah, I should mention one thing. I found out that this part here would needs some cleaning, because the axle here was a bit dirty, so this part couldn't move freely. So I cleaned it with a cotton bud and isopropyl alcohol, and then just put 1 drop of sewing machine oil, the very thin, on here, and then it looked like it's much better. So let's see if we can put this in. It should be something like there. And then I need the exposure ring, or whatever it calls, I don't know. But I mean, this is the exposure site. So I need to put it gently on and move it a little back and forth so it goes okay. And then I can just add this, the retaining ring, just to see how it works. Oh, there. Something like that. Now, of course, it's a bit tight right now, but let's see if it can be advanced. Yeah, something is working, it's on B. How about something in between? Yeah. And what about the slower settings? It looks like it's actually working pretty good. Yeah. It's a bit too fast, but yeah, it needs some adjustment, but it's great. The shutter works again. So it was actually a lot of dirt that around this area here, where the gear was, and then it couldn't move freely. So it's back to life. And how good is that? Really good. So I will just take this out and I mean, just free it a little. And then make some adjustment here. Don't tighten the screw here too much, because then you can just move this just a little. So a lot of dirt in those old shutters. When cleaning them, it should be possible to get them to work again if they are not rusty or some other issues. It is possible. As you can see now. So everything is in place here. And then the is so here we are. It's there. Bum, bum. Right, that's really good. So the shutter is back in business again. So one can just put this on the exposure ring. I mean, yeah. Just keep something on here so the ring will not go away. So now it's much better. This ring can only sit one way because of the pin over here. Whoops. And then the actual lock ring go on. Very interesting to work with those old stuff. And the ring here doesn't have to sit too tight, because then it will be hard to move the exposure ring here. But there's plenty of holes around, so one can find the correct tighten of the retaining ring. So, and then the small screw is great. It's magnetic, so it's easier to put on. Yeah. So. Sometimes it can be a little tricky with those old come out of place here. Something like that. Not really. So we give it another go. I mean, we have to screw it back in again so it will work proper. So that was the shutter, and now it actually works perfect. That's great. A let's say something like 55 years old camera or something like that, is back on track. Let's see here. And the self-timer maybe can work. Well, the self-timer is really not working proper, so I should have checked that, but we'll give it another go. It's easy to fix. Click there. Well, I need to take out the self-timer because I cannot have a camera without a self-timer, so but it's easy to do. Just take off the ring and the plate and the all the stuff here, and the exposure ring, the other exposure ring, or the inner, I don't know what it calls, the program wheel maybe, I don't know, but and of course the gear wheel, this one, and this ring. It does not have to be to come completely off, but I need to so, and let it rest there. Now the self-timer is actually only one screw holds in place here, and it will be easy to take out and do some cleaning. Only one screw here. Take out the slow gear. Do you mind? Come out. Yeah. It pops out here. And then we give it just a little cleaning. Yeah, it looks like there's some dirt, and I mean it won't really work so good. So let's see. There's not really any movement, but let's see how it can be. Fine mechanic clockwork, something like that. It actually works, but it just needs some cleaning, so it's good. Maybe it should stay there longer, but if so, the film would have been 10 times longer if I should do that. So if your slow gear is, I mean, if your self-timer is really not working proper, it should maybe stay longer than this one. Maybe, maybe not. And some some. And of course this one also needs some light sewing machine oil or clockwork oil. But sometimes it's just not need a lot of oil. I mean, it's better than to use less oil than just sucking into oil. So the actual end there, and this one, I think, yeah, and then get it to move on. Wow. And you remember before it there was no movement at all. So it will go to the very end here. And then we do it on the other side. So. And then do some interesting mechanic. So it's okay again. So we just put it in, tighten the Okay, need to let the gear actually has to be relaxed, so it cannot go any further. So, and it's there, and then it just needs the long screw that holds the gear in place. So okay, do you mind? Now, so it should work, but there is one thing, because when I move this stuff here, this part here, have to have the spring, the hairspring, in correct place. So it sits there. Need to sit like So this is the correct position of the spring. The other end of the spring here has to go to rest at this pin here. Then it is correct. So one maybe need 2 tweezers to put this on. Something like, okay, well, maybe it's just easy to have this end of the hairspring. Gosh, it's not easy, but I think I will manage. And then move this place. And this one can be put into correct position. Something like that. Yeah. Now, then we go back to put the ring on. Like this. The self-timer pin here has to sit correct. And the ring itself. So, something like that. And then the part here. So, now then it should work, but I better check when putting this plate on, exposure plate or whatever it calls. Yeah. And how about the self-timer? Well, I think I will put this on because I think it's there. So something like that. Okay, cock the shutter. And let's see if we can have some 1 second and advance the self-timer. Okay, something is not correct. Okay, I thought there was something. Well, just opening it again and see what's actually not working proper. Is it there? The self-timer is there. Okay. So why will it not work? Oh, I see the point. This part here was not sit correct because when I put it on, something like that. Okay, I will just unscrew it a little so it's a bit loose, and then it should be possible to move the parts here. Okay. Okay, I think I will just take this out. So, because there is something wrong here, and it will not, this has to stay there, and then I should move the this one has to go there. Yeah. So I think we are incorrect. We are correct again. Yeah. So it can work. And the little part here and the tiny hairspring. So, and it will be like that. Spring has just to come on the other side of the pin, and it can be a little tricky. Push it down, and I think we are there. No. No. Well, just do it again. It has to stay there. Was it correct? Yeah, it is in place. And then this pin go like, yeah. And then this one has to stay there. Okay, another tweezer. Yeah. So now it's okay. The exposure ring plate. Yeah. Let's advance the shutter. And the self-timer is on. Yeah, ha! It really works great. So how about that? I think it's huge success. This ring will be there. The plate, the retaining ring, it doesn't have to be too tight, which is okay for now. Is there any screw there? I think we'll take that. Yes. The little screw will fit there. Yeah. Now the shutter is working proper again. The self-timer. And press the button. Yeah. Wow, that's great. Now I need a break. So the only thing I need is to put the shutter into the camera again. Just zoom out a little so we can actually see what's going on. But it's really great. Now the shutter will go into the camera again. So how do we do that? First, there is this lever that actually changes between, the self-timer and the X and the, yeah, goes in here and just stay there. So and then I will put the shutter into the housing. This part here will push on the advance. When you advance the shutter, this one will press on here. So when you advance the film, it will go all the way over here and then back again, then you can push the button. Now, so we'll just put the shutter into the camera again. Ooh, how about that? It can only sit one way because there is a small pin here that goes into the notch here. So just have to stay there, cannot move at all. And then flip over the camera and put the retaining ring in here. Sometimes one can actually screw in the retaining ring by just put it on and be lucky to have the it catch the thread, but to tighten it you just need a lens tool again, and so so it works. Then the frame, don't know what it calls, but it's the has to still sit there. Need a bigger screwdriver. And it goes there. So now the lever for the self timer, one need to advance the camera and then move the lever here over to self timer, so the self timer is ready to take photos, work. And then we take some of the tiny screws here, put them in there. They are non-magnetic in this camera, so it can be a little tricky to get in, but let's see how it turns out. Well, a little magnetic. Come on. So, one screw and the other will also get in. It's not really magnetic in a normal way. It's actually very well built, this camera, compared to many other older of those kind of cheap. Well, I think I maybe could have taken this off, but well, it's not necessary. So, and then we just need to add the lens simply. So this part goes in the aperture, something like, I don't know what it calls, but this goes on here, and then this ring goes in, and it has to be screwed in 7.5 revolution. If one can catch the thread here. I mean, it should be possible. But there are some dirt here. Old, whatever it is. Maybe you can take it away. It's kind of glue or something. Oh yeah, it's an old thread lock. Yeah, I think it must be something like that. Now, going a little back to catch the thread. Is there anything? Yeah. So you see, I set the arrow here to make it easier to put this part in. So it should just catch the and really it will just go all the way in, so it sits tight. Something like that, and it has to be tightened even more. I mean, as much as it can. And for that we need a tool. Then tighten it. Yeah. And it sits the correct place. So the only thing I need is to put the lens on. And I also know where it should go, because I have put on a mark here and a mark here. So it should just go in. Oh, I missed something. Well, the lock screw. Where does all those bloody hair come from? I simply don't know. So goes in here and catch the thread, which can sometimes be a little problem. So and the other screw. So, and it's there. Then one part left. So, and then we are back. The focus ring will go on. The pin here will go into the notch here. So you just put it on like this. Catch the there. And I ended up with the infinity, and I will also have this to set to be on infinity. Then tighten the small set screws on the focus ring and put the back the film door on, and then we are there. So, and the focus is really good. The aperture is working. The shutter is working. The self-timer. So that's really good. I mean, nice old camera. Put the film door on. Tighten it. And so we are back again where we started. So hope you enjoy the content and can use the information for something. Yeah, there will be some other films about other stuff sooner. So bye bye, enjoy. Thanks for watching.